Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to Fat to Fit Revolution. Whether you're listening to the podcast or you're watching the YouTube video, thanks for tuning in. Thanks so much for tuning in. This is going to be pretty short and sweet. I just wanted to really get into talking about how we need to prioritize ourselves, especially as wives and moms and significant others. So that's what I'm going to be talking about today. I'm just going to go ahead and jump in. I do have some notes, just like the last time. So I just want to let you guys know if I am looking at my phone that there is a reason. Um, so, I want to talk about the importance of prioritizing your health and your fitness, especially if you are a mom. I know a lot of times as moms, we forget about ourselves. We tend to push you know, ourselves and our self care to the back burner because we're caring for so many other people, and we just kind of forget about ourselves and about that self care and what we really need. But we really have to make ourselves a priority in order to be able to be the best versions of ourselves, in order to be there for everybody else. Whether you have kids, you have a husband, you have a significant other, even like animals or anything like that. So today I'm going to talk about the importance of health and showing our children, being that role model of health and wellness, and for your children, and teaching them how important it is to take care of themselves and prioritize themselves. And that's really going to affect them in the long run. So when you turn on the TV, when you're outside, you see these buses go by and you see all these ads and magazines and stuff like that for like fast food, and they really target like children. And I didn't notice this until I kind of took a step back and started really thinking about the food that I was putting in my bodies and in my body, and the food that I was putting in my children's body. I am breastfeeding, so everything that I eat affects my youngest, and I wasn't really being mindful. I was being really mindful of sugar, but I wasn't really being mindful of all the other crap that seems to be in healthy food, or seems to target children. So when you're outside and like you're seeing ads everywhere, and I really find it almost annoying. Especially with certain companies that they really target children, like, oh, when you order, a kid's meal, you get this toy or you get this book. And I really I find that almost disgusting. Because children have no control over it, and parents a lot of times don't take the time, especially if they're not prioritizing themselves, they don't take the time to look at these things. And and they're enticed by the fact that their child's getting this healthy meal, and they're also getting some type of entertainment with it. So I think it's really, really important to be mindful of that, because we are responsible for our children. But that ties into being responsible for ourselves. So as much as you watch your food, watch what you're putting in your bodies, be mindful of that when you're what you're purchasing for your children as well, because they don't have any control over their journey right now. You have control over that, and you're going to set up that foundation for them later on. I'm not perfect by any means, and my husband is a sugar addict, so that is a struggle for us, and that's something that we're working on, and we're really trying to find what works best for her. We notice like sugar has given her a little bit like of a sugar, she just goes crazy. So we're really trying to watch that and watch other things like canola oils and things like that that are really processed, and just your body has a hard time processing those. So being that beacon of health and fitness for your child is really going to make a difference. Your parents really shape and form the very foundation of where your journey starts, and how it starts. So one of the biggest reasons why I started this journey was because I wanted to be able to be the best mom to my baby, who is now 3. and I really struggled after having her with weight gain and having confidence. And I was in a really low point. I suffered from depression, um, and I had a lot of things going on that were really stressful to me. And I just overall was not happy with myself. And I've talked about this before, but my body image was really, really not okay. I wasn't confident. And that had a lot to do with what my body looked like, but that also had to do with where I was mentally. And that tied into my nutrition and what I was putting in my body, lots of sugar, lots of carbohydrates. Um, I would jump from diet to diet, and it wasn't what was working for me or my lifestyle. So I just want you to be really mindful of that, and keep that in mind. And I've talked a little bit about this before. I just wasn't happy, and I knew that I wasn't modeling a healthy relationship with my body and nutrition. Um, to my child who was watching everything. She was absorbing everything. She still does to this day. And so it's really, really important to really like take care of yourself so they can see that you're taking care of yourself, and they can do that later on when they are responsible for themselves when they're a little bit older. So I was really unhappy. I was in a really, really, really dark place mentally. I think it's probably like the worst my depression has gotten outside of, um, college and the usual college activities. So she was about 9 months old. I was really struggling with my energy. I wasn't really able to play with her. She started walking at 10 months. It was really hard. She was really crawling and like getting and really really going. She's like was just active from the very beginning, and I was really struggling to keep up with her and to be able to interact with her on a level that because I just didn't have that energy. um, I wasn't eating well, and I was, like I said, more depressed than I think I've ever been in my life. And I was a really, really dark place. I had a lot going on. There was a lot of stressful things going on. But my eating really tied into that and really tied into my emotions. Um, and I just needed that, that small beacon of hope and that light at the end of the tunnel that it wasn't always going to be like this. I had the ability to change, and to make these changes for myself and for my family. My relationship struggled, my with friends and family and my husband and my children, and I just wasn't happy, and I knew that something needed to change. Um, so I just needed that sliver of hope. I needed to know that it was going to get better. And after a friend gave me some realistic advice, she just was messaging me. We were talking about starting a fitness program, and I kept making all these excuses. Oh, I can't do it because X, Y, Z, and I'm traveling, and I've got to make all these funeral arrangements. And deal with all these paperwork and family dynamics, and I was struggling to breastfeed my now 3 year old, and it was just I just had all these excuses, and um, after she gave me the advice, she just said, you know what, like if you really want the change, if you want this big epiphany of change, you have to decide to make it. You have to stop making excuses, and you have to just jump in, take that leap of faith, and really trust in yourself. Um, and I did that. I decided that I was going to fight for my life. I was going to fight to get my confidence and my body and in the way that I wanted to do it, in the way that I was, seeking that light in my journey and finding that greatness inside myself and really believing that I had it. Um, and fake it till you make it sometimes. Like on those days that you really don't want to do something that's going to be beneficial later on, you just have to really remind yourself, like, I do have that greatness. I do have the ability to make these big changes, even if they start out small. Like, I am going to do this. And so I made the decision to change the whole trajectory of my life, really in all aspects. It wasn't like it started out with the journey, but it really leaked into all different aspects of my life. And that was huge for me. And I decided to change my life, my family's life, to influence and improve my relationships with peers, with friends, with family, with those around me, people I interacted with that were just complete strangers. On social media, and things like that. So that was February 21st of 2016. So it's been almost 3 years, and I'm still on this journey. I fought every single day. I've had my ups and downs. It hasn't always been easy, but I watch both of my children um, be positively impacted by this. So when I'm working out, I um, I am able to like show my children, my daughters, especially think it's really especially important for me as a mom of two girls to really show them the importance of taking care of not only their body, but also taking care of their mental health, also taking care of building that confidence in themselves and realizing that they too have that greatness inside of them, and that they should seek it and nourish it and share it with others and be a positive impact in this world. Um, and so I'm seeing like if I'm working out, my daughter has 2 pound weights that she'll go and grab, or the baby has these little weight dumbbell rattle things, and she likes to play with those. And I think that's really really important, um, especially like they're gonna portray what they see. So if my daughter sees me lifting weights, if my daughter sees me doing cardio, if my daughter sees me putting healthy, um, making healthy nutrition choices, she too is gonna see, okay, mom is doing this, so I should. Mom is like my role model, so I should start doing this for myself too. Not necessarily now because she's 3, but now I've found like instead of choosing, some junk food, like she'll say, Mom, I want a banana, or I want some yogurt, or, just like small choices like that. She's already making those decisions as a 3-year old. And I like to believe that I had some influence on that. Back, had to get the teething child. So I'm watching my actions kind of ripple down and affect not only my children but my husband. Like he is the type of person that would eat out every night. He would eat the same thing. I mean, it's not always healthy choices. It's like pizza, burgers, shawarma that's loaded with, who knows what kind of oils and carbohydrates. And um, he made the decision recently because he's seen that I'm eating my own home cooked meals, that he wanted to start eating these home cooked meals as well, and salads and things like that. That before, especially when he was single, he never even thought about eating. He would always just eat out. So I really like to believe that I'm having that impact on the entire family. Even those surrounding me, if I have a friend over and they see that I'm eating a healthy meal, and I serve them the healthy meal, and they will send me a text message like, "Oh my gosh, like you got me addicted to this. I made a salad with like quinoa and black bean burger, and I made it into like a taco bowl." And I have a friend now that's like, "I'm so addicted to these, and it like I can't even believe it's like healthy, and it's I'm feeling full, and I'm not eating as much, and like I'm really trying to be more active and healthy." And I really like, that is why I do what I do. That is my passion, and I love getting those positive messages and that positive feedback, knowing that I'm helping others change their lives, not only for themselves but especially for women who are moms, or people who are parents. That is super like important to me, and that is why I started as a coach, because I really really wanted to help people make those changes in their lives, and knowing that I can do it with all of my things like PCOS and insulin resistance and being a mom of two, um, and really being busy, I am able to prioritize myself and be that positive role model in my children's lives, my family's lives, friends' lives, and it's just like amazing to me, and it really is my passion. I'm just lucky enough that I get to do that on a daily basis. So that was kind of a rant, but or a tangent. Um, yeah, so like I watched all of these positive impacts just because I made the decision to find the greatness that I had inside me, and then I think I've always known that was inside me, but I just I doubted it. I had that self doubt because I didn't have the confidence, because I just was not happy where I was. And I needed that kind of kick in the butt to really believe in myself and really push myself. And here I am almost 3 years later, and I'm helping others do that. I'm helping others seek that greatness and nourish it. So, of course, I've stumbled. I'm not perfect. My journey has been anything but linear. Um, but I found my why, one of my whys. And that's really my driver. That's what keeps me going. That's um, my reason for the determination, because motivation, it's going to come and go. But if you have sturdy whys, you have whys that um, have to do with prioritizing yourself, but also, prioritizing those who are important around you and being that positive impact. It's going to be beneficial to you. It's going to be beneficial to those around you. Um, so if you see these people online, because it's easy to get caught up in this, you know, vision of perfection, because perfection doesn't exist. Progress over perfection all the time. You see these people, on social media that seem to just have it all together. They're meal planning every week, and they seem to just be doing, amazing. And if somebody says that they haven't struggled or they haven't stumbled, um, I have to say they're lying. At least in my experience, nobody's perfect. You're gonna have times where you get off track, or you forget your why, or you just have those moments of self-doubt. But this journey is about learning, um, and our children, our family, our friends, um, the world deserves us at our best. And developing yourself and pushing on in that journey and finding those strengths and those victories on and off the scale um, are really going to have a positive impact in other aspects of your life. So just keep that in mind, especially when you have those moments of self doubt, or you have those moments where you're struggling, or you had a bad meal, or you had a bad week, or, just don't let it get you down. Don't let it get you off course. Jump right back on. I hate the term jump back on the wagon, because if you're on the journey, your wagon's gonna have bumps in the road. You're just gonna have to keep pushing forward. You just have to remember your why and make that why super important. And you'll find other whys along the way, but let there be one huge reason that has to do with prioritizing yourself. So thank you so much for tuning in, and I really hope this was helpful. If you could leave me some feedback, leave me some comments, and please just share with everybody you know, on any platform you're seeing this, whether it's podcast, YouTube. I would be so grateful. Thank you so much for spending this time with me, and I really hope to see you again.